Section 10 of Birds, Volume 3, Number 1, January 1898. Recorded for LibriVox.org by Avaí. Birds in the Schools. The movement to protect the birds of America and prevent them from being transformed into millinery in such prodigious numbers is having a marked revival in many parts of the country, especially in the state of New York. In New York City, there was recently held a large public meeting under the auspices of the Audubon Society and the American Museum of Natural History to protest against the wholesale and indiscriminate destruction of native birds for personal adornment. State Superintendent of Schools, Skinner of that state, has established a Bird Day in the public schools in connection with Arbor Day, in which the pupils will be taught the great value of birds to mankind. Mr. Skinner also has in preparation a manual upon the subject, 100,000 copies of which he will have distributed among the New York State schools. Public ignorance regarding the value of birds in the economy of nature, and especially to human life, is so great as to be almost incomprehensible. A number of estimates recently made by Morris K. Jessup, President of the American Museum of Natural History, show how important it is that a stronger safeguard, in the shape of public sentiment, should be thrown about our feathered benefactors. In a late interview upon this subject, Mr. Jessup said, "Among the birds most worn this winter are the herons, which are killed for their aigrettes, the terns, or sea swallows, and gulls, in short, mostly marsh and maritime birds. It is known that the killing of a great number of these shore birds has been followed by an increase in human mortality among the inhabitants of the coast, the destroyed birds having formerly assisted in keeping the beaches and bayous free from decaying animal matter. New Orleans had a plague of bugs about the middle of September, just when the yellow fever began, and, strange as it may seem, the bugs proved far more troublesome than the disease, and certainly the annoyance was more immediate. The people called it a mystery, but the scientists said it was merely the result of man's improvidence in destroying the birds. The destruction has been going on in Louisiana, particularly on the Gulf Coast, for years, and has been carried on by professional hunters, who kill the birds solely for millinery purposes. Nature revenged herself on New Orleans, as she will on every place where birds are destroyed for fashionable purposes. Would it not be a good thing to increase the intelligence of the present and rising generation respecting the value of birds by introducing into the schools of every state in the Union the idea which has been adopted by State Superintendent Skinner? And we respectfully suggest that the use of this magazine by teachers, through the wise cooperation of school boards everywhere, as a textbook, would quickly supply the knowledge of bird life and utility so sadly needed by the community. We present some of the innocent creatures each month in accurate outline and color, and the dullest pupil cannot fail to be impressed by the beauty and the necessity for their protection. Our schools, public and private, can hardly be criticized as instructors in the common branches of learning, but they could also teach the rising generation the equally important truths relating to the material world with which we are encircled. In Colorado and in some other states, boards of education have supplied their teachers with birds in sufficient quantities to enable their pupils to study the subjects in the most profitable manner. C.C. Marble. End of Section 10. This recording is in the public domain.